Welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. You know, sometimes I like to have a good time here, but sometimes the topic is super serious. And before I even start this topic, I want to say what I always say, and that's use a professional. If you don't use a professional, it's going to cost you 5 times more in money and 10 times more in aggravation. We live in the hurricane capital of the world, in my opinion, and I got to tell you that it's nerve-wracking in hurricane season when you own a home, and actually when you own anything. With me is Ed, Frank?
Jim.
Jim. Why did I say Frank? I'll tell you why, because I'm older than dirt, and I can't remember anything. But, so, you have a company, Ridgecap?
Yeah, Ridgecap Roofing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, my first question is, how long have you been around the industry?
We're actually second-generation contractors. Our father, we did new construction mostly. Grew up doing new construction, grading basements, putting roofs on.
So were you guys like running around being annoying to Dad?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That was us.
Did he make you go? Did you do anything on the roofs?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were banging nails.
At what age?
We were early teens, late.
Okay.
I remember 10, 11, 12 years old showing up on a half a day and there's red lines snapped on the roof and handed a box of nails and a hammer. We need a nail every 8 inches on the snapped lines.
Yeah.
So let's just kind of put this out there. It's pretty dangerous when you're on a roof that's kind of steep.
It can be if you're not safe. Absolutely. It can
Okay.
be, absolutely.
What makes you safe and what makes you not safe?
You use this proper safety equipment. You know, you need to be roped off. You need to make sure that.
I never see people roped off.
When you start getting in the high-pitched roofs where you're going to slide off, that's when you want to get roped off and be safe.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So every so often I see, I guess with new roofs, I don't know with redoing roofs, but piece of like slats of wood.
Mm-hmm. That's usually they put that on when they're putting a plywood down, and what that is, as they're putting plywood down, they put a 2x4 nailer down for them to step on to help keep them from sliding off.
Okay, so is there a roof that you don't like to do? I mean, like 4 stories pitch roof?
I don't think anyone likes to do that, but you know, the guys that we use, you know, I'm a true believer in you're only as good as your help.
Right.
And the guys we have are good guys, and you know, we don't seem to have issues with that. Okay,
so I guess what most would probably prefer is flat roof.
Yeah, exactly.
Flat roof. All right, so I know that changes have come in your industry.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, and insurance companies are making it a nightmare for some people.
Yeah.
Is there any, like, they say that a roof is good for 10 years?
A shingled roof is what the insurance companies are saying.
10 years?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, tile roof?
Tile roofs are, you know, what the insurance companies, I'm not sure what the insurance companies are saying, because what the insurance companies say and what the manufacturers say are 2 different things.
Well, and what the insurance companies say changes whenever they want to change it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
so what do the manufacturers say?
For shingled roofs are good for, in Florida, about 15 years, 20 years, somewhere around, depending on which shingle you buy. You know, you have different levels of shingles to buy. The metal roofs are good for 40 to 60 years.
Are they really?
Yeah, metal roofs are good for a long time, as well as tile roofs. Tile roofs, they say, are good for 40 to 60 years as well, even up to 80 years.
Okay, so what I've heard once is the barrel tile roofs are really not roofs in general. The roofing is really underneath the barrel. Is that really?
Well, you know, depends on who you talk about that. Some engineers you'll talk to, and some people will design a roof, the membrane underneath it, as if that is their roof, and then the tile goes on top of it as just like a decoration.
Right.
Which, if you do a roof that way, it's not the right way to design a roof. Okay, you need to make sure that all your tiles are not cracked, that they're all secured in place properly. So I don't like to look at that as a tile roof or a barrel roof in that way.
All right. So what happens is, at this point in time, you go to an insurance company and you want to insure your house. And what I was told is that don't go to an insurance company to insure your house anytime during hurricane season. Always do it before or after. Is that true?
You know what, if you're buying a house, you're gonna have to get insurance no matter what time of year it is.
That's true.
You know, so I don't want to call someone a liar, say, no, that's not true, but by all means, I also, I don't think that's how I would look at it myself. You know, I'd want to make sure my roof is covered, insured, no matter what.
Well, one of the units I own is a mobile home,
Mhm.
and the first year I bought it, and it had a leak, and I had that leak patched. Otherwise, the tenant's furniture would have gotten totally destroyed. And I went to look to get insurance, and I think it was August or September, and I couldn't get insurance. They wouldn't give me insurance during hurricane season. Now, what I was told was they should have given you insurance. They won't give you insurance if there's a hurricane coming this way. But prior to that, as long as there's no hurricanes in the Atlantic,
Exactly, yep.
there's no reason for them not to give you insurance.
I think it's a 72 hour, I think it's 72 hours.
If there's a
before-
named storm,
A named storm, yeah.
and what they're doing now is doing a roof exclusion until that storm has gone by.
So they'll give you insurance, except they'll exclude the roof.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so when you say that, does that mean that if your roof blows off, you're not getting paid for it? But if your roof blows off and water comes in your house, do you know if that's covered?
That's a question for the insurance adjuster and the attorney.
Or the day that if they had a good day,
Yeah.
they might agree to pay it. If they had a bad day, they're not going to agree to pay it.
That's not our experience with insurance adjusters at all.
No, that's the adjuster.
I mean, we've done hurricane work. We've been involved with public adjusters, private adjusters, insurance adjusters. I don't think they're out to not pay claims like a lot of people say that they are.
So
They have a job to do, and they're very educated about the job that they do. And they make decisions based on what they see.
So,
And there is an avenue beyond that for clients that disagree with what the insurance company has to say.
which is an adjuster, a
You
private.
can do your private adjuster. You can go to what's called appraisal,
Okay.
which is just a whole process with the insurance companies, and then you can go to lawsuit with them also. So there's other steps beyond the adjuster said, no, I'm not paying for your roof.
All right, so times have changed over the years. The way, for lack of a better word, the way you attach the roof, and you can correct me because I'm probably wrong, used to be 3 clips and now it's like 4 clips or something to that effect?
We'll talk about just a regular architectural shingle.
Okay.
At one point, you were just using 4 nails to nail on a shingle. Now you're at 6 nails to put a shingle on.
Okay. Are those nails attached to like a clips that go to it?
No, they're nailed directly to the wood deck underneath.
Okay, interesting. All right, so how do we attach, not that I'm going to do it, guys, trust me. How do we attach the plywood, I guess,
Yeah.
to the walls of the house?
The trusses?
Yeah.
Nails. We use nails. We use ring shank nails, and they're nailed off. I think code is every 6 inches, right? Every 6 inches is the nail off pattern for plywood.
Okay, the trusses, they're part of the roofing, I guess.
Yep. Okay.
And they get attached to the building at
With
different-
with straps.
Okay.
So and that's one thing. It's a good question as far as I know where you're going with that is one of the things we run into right now is called a third nail in your strap.
Okay, I guess that's what I was
Yeah, it's okay. I think I know where you're going with this. Yeah, what's happening with the older homes, the codes back then, you could when you strapped your truss to the building itself, you'd run your strap over the truss, you'd put a nail on either side, and you were done. Now with the new codes, they require 3 nails, so you got to add another nail. So that's where the insurance companies, where we come in when we're replacing your roof system on your house, we're able to access it from the top, add another nail, and that's helped save money with your roof.
Okay, so do you believe that that's a benefit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
My next question is, why are roofs so expensive? just seem to be, people are, okay, so today, insurance companies are saying, well, your roof's over 10 years, you need to replace the roof if you want it insured. So you can add, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if you got a 2,000 square foot home, basically, you can add another $10,000, $15,000 to do a roof?
A 2,000 square foot home, you're, what, yeah,
You're at 20, depending on what roof
Yeah.
system you do.
About $20,000.
Yeah.
So you don't, if you think you're getting a good deal and you have an old roof, you really have to consider that the roof needs to be replaced if you're going to get insurance,
Mhm.
and as $20,000 out of someone's pocket is going to come out.
Yeah, it all depends, but what I always say is shop around. Every customer that I go to, and a lot, you spoke earlier about showing up,
Right,
getting there,
right.
right? With us, we show up, we make sure we get our estimates, but we make sure that the customer's aware of this. We're one contractor, there's plenty of roofing contractors out there. By all means, do your due diligence and get multiple prices, absolutely.
So we've gone through some tough times, up and down. Real estate's very cyclical. Is getting product an issue?
No,
Not
right
at the
now.
moment.
Not at the moment.
It comes
Yeah.
and goes. It
Yeah.
depends on hurricanes.
Yeah.
What do you prefer to put up, shingle, tile, or metal?
For us, it doesn't matter. In my eyes, I don't think one is better than the other one. It's, it's a customer's budget and what they can afford is one.
He
And
likes
as long
metal
as,
roof.
what's that?
He likes a metal roof.
Yeah, absolutely. And metal roofs are great. And
And
I'm
you're
not,
going to get a longer
Yeah.
life out of a metal roof in the eyes of your insurance company.
yeah,
Look, we were talking in the agreement before we got on the air,
Yeah.
and I said, the only negative thing I heard two negative things. One is you can hear the rain,
Yeah.
and people spend money to buy machines that give you the sound of rain.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
So that's
good.
really not a big deal. But the big deal for people today is you might have a problem with your cell phone service.
Mhm.
And is that a case? Is that a problem?
I have heard that in their larger homes, and mostly it's, when I hear that, is if they have like a metal structure, a full metal structure, like a garage you'd have offset or the back of your home, is when it gets real bad, when it's fully enclosed. And with the metal roofs in homes, I don't hear that complaint as often as you would think, I would say.
Right, I mean, we drive around, we go through a tunnel, and we lose signal a little
Yeah.
bit or whatever, so, our cell phones are our lifeline. How would we play Pokemon or some of the other things that people play without signal?
And with that, most people have internet in their home.
Right.
And with the internet, I don't know. You'd have to talk to, actually, my cousin actually got this done in his house because he's got a full metal structure at his house, and he had to do something with his internet to make his phone work. So whenever you go to his house, he just gives you the password, and your phone just
So you're on
works.
Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it's a Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's
Yep.
true,
Yep.
that's right, that could
Yep.
be the how you solve that
Yep.
problem.
Exactly.
Okay, so, again, we're talking in the green room, and I said, when I drive to work knowing I'm coming into an air-conditioned building, and I look at you poor guys on the roof,
Yeah.
are there days that it's so hot that you can't do any work?
We don't run into that too much. It's when you're adjusted to it, you're adjusted to it. We make sure everyone's taking a lot of breaks, drinking a lot of fluids. They're all covered up. Keeping them off the direct sun as much as we can. But like you said, you show up in this air-conditioned space. You do it every day.
Right.
These guys show up in the heat. They do it every day.
When I was younger, because I'm older than dirt, we didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
And though I lived up north,
Yeah.
the summers were still hot, really hot. And we got a fan, or we didn't have a fan, but you're right, we adapted to
Yep,
it.
exactly.
Okay? Do you think we got spoiled?
Oh,
We're all spoiled.
We're all spoiled. Absolutely.
Okay, so with that said, we now have central air conditioning in our home.
Yeah.
Is it more efficient to have a specific kind of roof to keep in, and we know insulation is important, but
Absolutely.
let's say that two houses have the same insulation. Will a metal roof keep the house cooler? Will a tile roof?
Theoretically, a metal roof will reflect more heat than a shingle roof, especially a dark shingle roof. just as important as insulation and roof covering is ventilation. If you don't have proper ventilation, one, it's gonna make your shingles fail more quickly. It's gonna make your house hotter, it's gonna make your air condition run more. The ventilation is a very important part of considering a new roof system.
Dude, so I have this mobile home and it's been patched a couple of times. Do people just change the whole roof, or do they continue just patching roofs as best they can?
Mostly change the new roofs.
Do they?
A lot of people lately have been putting on the mobile homes metal roofs. We've been doing that a lot, yeah.
And I guess if you have 1,000 square foot metal roof on a mobile home, it's surely much more reasonable than a 2,000 square foot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know if the height is a factor when you price out stuff.
As far as first story, second story,
Yeah.
yes, it is definitely a factor, absolutely.
How do you know, besides coming into someone's house and seeing this big water spot on the ceiling, how does one know that a roof is ready to be changed?
So what we do is we get on the roof and we inspect. When you have a shingle, it has granulars on it,
Right.
They're all different colors, but we'll go with the standard white roof, right? So you have your white granulars. And what those granulars do is protect the actual shingle membrane, right? So what happens over time is through storms, the granulars go, they leave, they wash off the roof. Once the granular is gone, there's nothing protecting the membrane. Now the sun starts deteriorating at your roof. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, one of the things. Another thing is any curling tabs. And the third thing would be is after any kind of a storm or anything like that, any kind of broken or a hailstorm where there's literally little dots all over your roof of where the hail hit.
And a
Interesting.
lot of the older 3-tab shingles, you'll see a line
Yeah.
below your shingle, and that's where this shingle blew up in the wind, but then it laid back down
Yeah.
when the wind stopped.
There's a little crack.
And there'll be a little discoloration there, and that's actually a line. Now those granules are gone from that line, and the sun will deteriorate that line, and your shingles will break and fall off.
I mean, after a storm or heavy winds, if you see a shingle in your driveway, you know you're having one problem.
Yeah, yeah.
I do know that on the mobile home, it's 3 shingle. It's got those 3.
3-tab shingles.
Three-tab.
Yeah, because
yeah.
like really long, and then they got, I guess, a break to make where they can flip up or whatever. How do I know if I have to change the whole roof, the shingles alone, the shingles in the membrane, or the wood structure?
That's easy. You call 772-205-3999 and you schedule a roof inspection with Ridgecap Roofing.
Okay. All right. We're getting to the top of our time anyway. So you already gave the phone number. You have a website?
Yes, we do. Ridgecaproofing.com. We are on Facebook. We're on Instagram.
Everybody, I can't, and you can attest to this, that a roof is not a DIY project.
Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
If you think it's a do-it-yourself project, you're crazy. If you think it's simple, you're even crazier. And any DIY project, I'm at a point in my life where DIY projects don't happen. Okay? Because I'm old enough to know that every DIY project that I looked at, I said, yeah, no time, it'll be a breeze.
Yeah.
Always took me 5 times longer.
Yeah.
With that, everybody, check them out. We'll be right back. Thank you guys for coming on.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody, we'll be right back.